What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Prize Picks on 5. And it's Major, and I'm going to be talking about the Colts versus 49ers Monday night football game. But before we get into any of our picks, as always, we want to highlight what's going at the bottom of our screen. That is the promo code 5. That's FIVE. If you've not signed up for Prize Picks, first, what are you doing? Second, I got a deal for you. Sign up for Prize Picks with the promo code 5, FIVE. And after you play your first $5 lineup, you'll get $50 in bonus lineups guaranteed. Instant 10x value right there. And nothing better in Prize Picks than getting that sign up bonus. So without further ado, let's jump into the game tonight. It's the Colts who are reeling, and it's the 49ers who are always the 49ers, and find a way to be relevant at some time of the year. So my first pick is going to be a popular one. I really like George Kittle. He is one of the best tight ends in the game, has been pretty much his whole career. And I think he is the safety blanket for Brock Purdy, especially considering that they don't have many offensive weapons outside of Christian McCaffrey. Juwan Jennings is a solid wide receiver, but would you rather be throwing it to George Kittle or Juwan Jennings? Probably George Kittle. So I think Kittle and McCaffrey, honestly, are both going to be heavily featured as they always should be. And so I'm going more than 67.5 receiving yards for George Kittle. Now, if you're new to Prize Picks, you always have to have at least 2 picks from 2 separate teams. It can be, an NBA pick and football pick. It can be anything. You just can't have 2 people on the same team and those be your only 2 picks. So since we're doing Monday Night Football, obviously then I have to have a Colts pick. And I'm going to, use the grandpa. He coming out of retirement, everything. I think this game is going to be a long game in the sense of long drives. So time's going to just keep running in it. Long drives, long drives. I don't think there's going to be many opportunities to put up a bunch of stats unless you are like a George Kittle, a Christian McCaffrey, or even Jonathan Taylor. I could see him. But for someone like Phillip Rivers, I do not think he is really going to be getting that many opportunities. And that is why I'm going under on his passing attempts. So less than 28 pass attempts. Last time he had 27. I think both teams are going to have long drives, going to rely on their running, and maybe there's safety valves in George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey, and Jonathan Taylor. So even I think if you're looking for a Jonathan Taylor prop and square, maybe you're looking for his rushing and reception yards. His rushing yards was like 97.5, which is crazy, and I almost still went more than that. Because it just seems like if it's not Jonathan Taylor, then who is it going to be? You have 97.5. Jonathan Taylor, 122.5 rushing reception yards. That's not bad. You can go full tight end, Tyler Warren, who's been one of the premier tight ends, and he's kind of fallen off from that number 1 tight end it seemed like he was going to be, especially in like fantasy football, but he's still a very good tight end. You can see what better timing. George Kittle's reception yards went down 3 to 64.5. So that's even better. So secure this lineup if you like it. And when you do sign up, use the code 5, FIVE. You get a free $50 in bonus lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Now, PrizePicks is rolling out new things constantly, and they also have something called teams, which is very exciting. It would not let me. George Kittle's jumping up to 65.5 now. So it's going all over the place. But they would not let me show that to you today, but hopefully we can show that to you in the future. Even more ways George Kittle jumping up. So if you want good value, just keep watching George Kittle's square, apparently. But that team's rolling out. We'll be bringing stuff with that to y'all shortly. But let's enjoy this good Monday Night Football game, and hopefully we are treated to a spectacular show tonight.